equipment being set up down there and everything that has to be set out and used over the course of a night with High Limit Racing. Those of us at High Limit, Mike Hess, Cody Houston, Trent Hetzer, the staff, the boots on the ground, Kevin Nowes with all of his scale and tech equipment. Nobody really knew what we were going to do as the forecast loomed and got worse and worse as the afternoon progressed. So it's been kind of a hurry up and go situation here. You just hope that nothing falls through the cracks. Everybody has their cars set up how they need, and we all remember how to do our jobs. But yeah, when you have weather like this and you're just not sure, is it going to rain or is it going to get dry? Are we going to race? So much gets held up and a lot kind of gets tense in the pit area and in the infield because, as you know, Chase, and I'm sure people watching back at home know, so much time goes into putting on just one of these races. When you have weather affect the timetable and the schedule that we're all used to, it makes things pretty hectic.
It certainly does, and we have to give a tip of the cap here to the drivers there, Tony, as well. And you got to think about the crew members as well. When these cars come off the racetrack here in about hopefully 10 to 15 minutes, those crew members are going to have to get a couple of different mud scrapers down there, some rags out, because these cars are going to come off absolutely caked with mud. But, man, I'll tell you what, as soon as you get 30 cars out there, does this track get worked in really quick? They're probably already close to halfway done, maybe even past halfway done.
Yeah, and also, I don't know if we can get a shot of it, but we've got nearly every car that's out on track, a representative from their crew. We got a lot of crew chiefs, a couple mechanics sitting down here on quads, taking in what's going on. And typically, when you see these crew members staring at their race cars so intently, they're trying to find out what's it doing, what adjustments do we need to make. But these guys are just as anxious and curious as everyone up in the grandstands, and I'm sure everyone watching on Flow. All these guys sitting up here on their quads are just watching this track get worked in. You brought up a great point, though, Chase. As we've put all these race cars out on track, the track has started to come in very quickly, and it's starting to shape up really well. We have had a request from the T-shirt alley. The girls want us to let everyone at the track here know that while this track prep is taking place, the T-shirt trailers are open, they are unloaded, they have their wares for sale, and there is a lot of really cool merchandise you can purchase from your favorite driver, your favorite team. Of course, Kubota High Limit Racing has their merchandise trailer here at the track, but if you are walking around the Mississippi Valley Fairgrounds here as these cars circulate under very slow speeds, run, don't walk to the T-shirt area and get yourself something cool, because once we get racing here tonight, Chase, two things are going to happen. One, the action's going to be so good you're not going to want to leave. And two, I have a feeling we're going to be kind of on the throttle pedal to get this program in as quickly as we can. So you want to go get your merchandise now if you're here at the track, because once they start racing a little bit later on, you're not going to have time to get up and go over there.
Yeah, you got that right there, Tony. And if you're watching at home on Flow, you could have scanned that QR code right there and grabbed some High Limit merchandise. We just got a whole bunch of restock on hats and things on the website, so make sure to go pick up some stuff there from the High Limit merchandise online website. And also, if you're at the track, make sure to stop by that official Kubota High Limit Racing merchandise trailer as well. All of the cars out there, I would say this won't take more than 5 more minutes to get the racetrack run in, and then we'll be ready for Dirt Draft Hot Laps here at race number 5 of the Midweek Money Series, Davenport Speedway, the quarter mile inside of the half mile. Things are about to heat up here as we get ready for racing action here tonight.
Well, welcome everyone for the premiere presentation of Chasing 200 of the Bryan Clauson story. It's a very important documentary. I'm just delighted to have the president of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, Doug Bowles, with us. Sunshine Tyler Courtney won at Port Royal here last weekend. And this guy is the fastest qualifying rookie at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway catalog. Tyler Major directed, Laura, as you know, is a producer. Tyler's involved, Richie Murray, Matt, all the people that made this thing happen. It made so many great documentaries happen. To use the great Jackie Robinson quote, "No individual life is important except in the impact it has on other lives." If there's a story that's the embodiment of that, it's the one you're going to see.
Pretty cool feeling to come out on top.
For those of us who lived it, we'll never forget it. He touched us so deeply. Rips the Band-Aid off a little bit, but on the other hand, what a great celebration. Where's Tyler? Tyler, come on down. The first thing I noticed, which was so cool, were the credits.
Honestly, I thought it was very important to honor Bryan as the executive producer because he shot a lot of the footage. He was the one that kind of made it all happen, and I think that Blake says it best in the film, and that is that his biggest talent was to bring people together. And, you know, luckily for us, Bryan didn't have a switch. He didn't turn it on and off. He was always him all the time.
We're two of the very best in the business, obviously, Cal Larson and Sunshine Tyler Court. Let's hear it for these two guys.
You know, after that first summer working with him, I ran Chili Bowl for him, and I showed up to the shop, and I had Sunshine on my name visor, and it's pretty much all she wrote from there. And it's obviously a way more special story to me now that obviously Bryan, dawned that on me.
Yeah, he just always had that like aura about him, like confident, and as he should have been. And me being the new kid up from California as well, I wanted to beat him. And yeah, he won a lot. But yeah, you remember all the good times you had with him. But then, yeah, I mean, obviously when he gets to the end, that's the first time I got to see like the GoPro footage of that day.
It was Bryan, he made you want to be a part of everything that he did. It took about 2 years to plan it and execute it. So every day for over 2 years, he was a part of my life. And then when that got ripped away, it was tough.
For us, it's the racing community that from the moment it happened that had, wrapped their arms around us and to this day, going on 8 years later, refuse to let go. They refuse to unhug us.
One of the most powerful things about Bryan, when you go to Belleville or Belleville Midget Nationals, you go to these small towns, sometimes you see out in the garden there's a stone, and it says BC right on it. So small. Thank you all very much.
Slide up the racetrack, a drag race down to the line.
Hey race fans, this is Chet Christner here with another Comp Cam's Top Moments on FloRacing.
Axum got around and then everybody just piles in.
In at number 5.
Off of turn 4, it's race time in the Valley here in Knoxville. Aaron Wright Reitzel leads the way off into turn 1 and a huge crash behind them. Tasker, Phillips, AJ Moeller, multiple cars upside down. Take a look at the replay. Emerson Axum looks like something broke on the left front, and then everybody just piles in. AJ Moeller, Garrett Williamson. Yeah, it looks like contact with Sawyer Phillips. Sawyer Phillips got up in the middle, and then Axum got around, and then everybody just piles in. So we are getting a report, race fans. All drivers are okay. From the wreck in turn 1 and 2, all drivers are okay.
Here comes Rust out of the corner. Contact with a lap car.
Up next at number 4.
Schuett's going to dive it to the inside. Schuett's going to throw it down there. 1 to go this time. Joel Rust to 26J.
Oh my, here we are. Joel Rust, the bottom, Todd Schuett, the top. Down the back straightaway. Schuett, you know he's looking to throw this in. Here it comes. Down to block him is Rust. I've seen that move. Here comes Rust out of the corner. Contact with a lap car. It's Schuett to the line. Are you kidding?
Wow! Schuett gonna get the win in a large part. A big thanks to Jay Switt in that 26 car.
Well, you hate to see it end that way on what was such a great race.
For Schuett, you could say it's a little bit of redemption.
And Pierce goes around after Thornton slid up the racetrack.
Here's your number 3.
And now Pierce will get some breathing room to dance. Oh, Pierce up on 2 wheels through 3 and 4. That's going to allow Thornton to close back in. Here comes Ricky Thornton Jr. We have a new leader off into 1 and 2. Thornton with a slider. He slides up in front of Pierce. Pierce goes around, and that's going to draw the caution with 37 laps complete. As Macon Speedway getting fired up tonight, and Bobby Pierce shows his displeasure with Ricky Thornton Jr. battling for the lead off into turns 1 and 2. And Pierce goes around after Thornton slid up the racetrack.
Oh my goodness. Obviously, I didn't mean to get in Bobby there and turn him around. I got a good run down the front straightaway, and I thought for sure he'd see me under him and just lift and cross me over, but I think he was already too committed at that point.
He's not one of the most fun drivers to race against right now. Just would have liked a little more respect, but hey, it's Macon and it happens. And like I said, just a racing deal. We'll have some more racing deals like that in the near future.
What is Sunshine doing? Goes to the outside of the racetrack on the last lap.
In at number 2.
Marks, why the hell not? Tries the outside of the racetrack in turn number 4. Might lose the second spot to Rico Abreu. Abreu in at turn number 1. Cannot make fast. What is Sunshine doing? Goes to the outside of the racetrack on the last lap, and Brent Marks goes by. Brent Marks goes by. One last time in a 3 and 4. Off of turn number 4. It'll be Brent Marks with the win.
I thought for sure that Tyler Courtney had this race in the bag. Went to the top of the speedway in turn 1 on the final lap to get around a lap car, and it is a mistake that will cost him $20,000.
Yeah, it's probably the biggest mistake I've ever made inside the cockpit, coming for a win like that. It's just hearing something get to me a little bit, and I knew I needed to go. But yeah, I should have just parked on the bottom and made them try and drive around me.
3 drivers slide up the racetrack, a drag race down to the line.
Well, we are back at Davenport, and we did not think we would see this, but it is time for Dirt Draft Hot Laps cars are on the Speedway. The first one out on the racetrack, it's the 5-time World of Outlaws champion from Grass Valley, California. The Casey Kane races of Mike Curb, Napa Auto Parts, Brumo's Collection, Maximum Racers, number 49. It's the Big Cat, Brad Sweet. Brad Sweet in car number 49. And behind him, making his way into turn number 3 from Angola, Indiana, the Sundollar Restoration Ford Performance Sage Fruit Race Reading Foundation, number 26. It's Zeb Wise. Zeb Wise in car number 26. Making his way into turn number 3, the winningest sprint car driver in America right now from Dillsburg, Pennsylvania, the J&S Classics Valley Supply, C&D Rigging Class 1 Transportation, DMS Trash, number 39M. It's Anthony Macri. Anthony Macri in the 39M. And behind him, from Clute, Texas, it's the Fulkins Brothers Trucking, STC, B&L Holdings, American Table, Commercial Edge, number 87. It's 33-year-old Aaron Reitzel. Aaron Reitzel in the 87. And the final car on the racetrack for this session, from Overland Park, Kansas, the J.B. Henderson Construction, Messina Valley Transportation, Smith Titanium, Miller Bonded, Giacomo's Vineyard, number 45X. It's Jace Park. Jace Park in the 45X. those are the drivers in the the first session of Hot Laps. We got one more making his way onto the Speedway. Ran here on the half mile at Davenport Speedway back in 2006. He is back for more. From St. Mary's, New South Wales, Australia, the BR Motorsports, Titan Machinery, Elite Installation, Zip Bonds, King Racing Products, number 55V, it's Kerry Madsen. Kerry Madsen in the 55V. Green flag comes out for the first Dirt Draft Hot Lap session of the night. Lap times coming across our screen right now. Aaron Reitzel fastest, 14.256. He's followed by Jace Park. Now Kerry Madsen into the second spot, 14.402. Jace Park, now Zeb Wise third, 14.799. Kerry Madsen out into the 14.2s at 14.282. He's followed by Brad Sweet at 14.405. Zeb Wise, 14.482. As the yellow lights come on, fastest driver so far in Dirt Draft Hot Laps, driving car number 87. It is Aaron Reitzel, 14.256, 14.256, fastest so far in Dirt Draft Hot Laps. Second quick is Kerry Madsen, 14.282. Brad Sweet, 14.405. Zeb Wise, 14.482. And Anthony Macri, 14.502. Looks like we're going to have the drivers pace around the track slowly and help pack in the racing surface. If you're just joining us, whether here in the grandstands or on FloRacing, a ton of rain came through the area earlier on this afternoon, and we were supposed to have hot laps going at 6:30, but instead of hot laps at 6:30, we had motor heat on the track at 6:30, and so now the drivers, they did get those extra laps to pack in the surface, but now they will head back to the pit area. We are trying to speed this program along. There is more of that precipitation heading our way, and it looks like there may be some rain out right now as the cars do make their way back to the pit area. Tony Laporta, you're down in the infield. Is it indeed raining right now?
Chase, I don't have my weather rock with me, so I'm going to use my weather hand. And when my hand is wet, I usually can confirm that it's raining. I'm going to go for the weather hand here. And yes, my hand is wet, so it is in fact raining. It's not all bad, though. I didn't have time for a shower this morning, so this is kind of like a half win for me right now. So, yes, it is starting to come down here over Davenport, Iowa.
It can't be that bad, Tony. You're still standing out there. You're not taking shelter right now.
Well, Chase, believe it or not, despite what a lot of people will tell you, I am in fact not made of sugar, and I will not melt in these conditions. If it starts to pick up any more, though, I may look for a bar of soap. So stand by for that.
All right, we will keep an eye on that, Tony, as you get a look at the rain that's coming down right now. That is just unfortunate. Man, a valiant effort. Obviously, we could still get things in here tonight, but a valiant effort from the folks here at Davenport Speedway. A valiant effort from the folks with Kubota Highland Racing as well, as we did get cars on the racetrack for the first Dirt Draft Hot Lap session of the night. And we will have to wait and see what happens here, as hopefully this cell is not too big. We'll have to just, I guess, hurry up and wait is exactly what happened there, and now we got to wait some more. So let's go to another break here on FloRacing. On the other side of this break, we'll give you an update as to what's going on here at Davenport Speedway.
When it comes to magneto ignition performance, there's only one name that you can trust, and that's BR Motorsports Ignitioneering. Servicing the racing industry for over 30 years, our state-of-the-art Magneto Dyno Test Lab facility is equipped with the most technically advanced equipment available. And that's why crew chiefs like Paul Silva and Philip Dietz choose BR for all their ignition needs. To learn more, visit us at brpromag.com.
Capital Custom Trailers and Coaches. We are the #1 Renegade Toterhome dealer and the #1 Intech and Bravo Sprint Car Trailer dealer. No one sells more Toterhomes and Sprint Car Trailers than we do. Check out our complete lineup at capitalrenegade.com. If you're in the market for a Toterhome or a trailer, trust the people that are in the pits with you and that support the sport.
Your best days of the year start here at Kubota Orange Days. It's the year's biggest selection of Kubota tractors, zero-turn mowers, and utility vehicles, including the #1 selling compact tractor in the USA. Plus the year's best deals like 0% APR for 84 months or up to $3,300 off select compact tractors. Orange goes all day. Sales ending soon. Visit your local dealer today. Find your nearest dealer at KubotaOrangeDays.com.
I have terrible vision. I got hooked up with Death Ridge, and being able to see when you're racing is pretty important. Glare is somewhat of a big deal, and with these, there's really no glare at all. They just fit really well. They don't go over your ear. They just go straight around your head. Full believer in them. I feel like they help a lot compared to what I'm used to. I have nothing but good to say about them.
Folks, welcome back to FloRacing's live coverage of the duels in Davenport. I am standing here with Series Director Mike Hess, and he really is a lot more than Series Director. Right now, he's trying to be a weatherman. Mike, you guys worked really hard. The folks at Davenport here at Mississippi Valley Fairgrounds are working very hard to get this in, but like you just said off camera a moment ago, you can't fight Mother Nature.
Yeah, we did what we could to try to get it run in and had the cars pack it so we could get going, hoping that this rain coming now would miss us, and it's close. It almost did, but it looks like it's clipping us now. So we'll just have to wait and see what we get here. And if it quits now, we might be able to get it back. So we'll just wait a few minutes, and hopefully it bugs out of here and we get going.
I think one thing a lot of people at home and maybe in the grandstands are curious about, you have a lot of teams, you have a lot of drivers, you have a lot of people that are waiting on your decision. What's the communication process like for the competitors with High Limit Racing?
Well, right now they're not happy because they knew that it was probably going to rain and they had to get their cars dirty and whatnot, but the main goal is to try to put on a show for the fans up there. So we did what we could to try to get going, and as long as this rain bugs out quick, we'll do the same thing and try to get going again.
All right, that's Series Director Mike Hess. We're down here, Chase, in the infield race control structure. I don't really want to call it a tower. I'm not comfortable calling it a booth either, but it does have 4 sides and a roof, so we're going to call it the infield structure down here. They've quickly thrown a trash bag over the timing and scoring equipment, as that's very important to keep those electronics dry. But Mike Hess and everybody at High Limit on the operations side has worked very, very hard to try whatever they can do to get tonight in. They're still working very hard down here, and like Mike said, we're just going to sit and kind of ride this one out. We'll give you any updates from the infield that we get.
Thank you very much, Tony. Yes, we are trying very, very hard to get this one in. We know you fans here in the grandstands came here tonight expecting to see some of the best duke it out here on the quarter mile, and that is our full intention right now. As long as Mother Nature allows for it, we're going to try and get on with race number 5 of the Midweek Money Series and race number 22 of the full 55 race calendar as well. I want to say once again thank you to so many race fans that have come out here tonight for the first 410 sprint car race to be held on the quarter mile at Davenport since June 27th of 2000. We mentioned that earlier on at the top of the broadcast. That race that night was a World of Outlaws Gum Out Series event. It was won by a guy that just got inducted into the Hall of Fame, the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame last week, Paul McMahon. Finishing behind him in that race, Brad Furr, Shane Stewart, Jeff Shepard, and Jason Myers. So some guys you've probably heard of before there in that top 5. The last time 410s race on this quarter mile. As you're taking a look at our speed shot there, you could kind of see a couple drops still falling there from the sky. But as Mike mentioned there, as long as it gets out of here quick, we should be able to get things underway here for this $20,000 to win, $1,500 to start, 35-lap main event this evening. The upcoming schedule for Kubota High Limit Racing coming up, we've got some races that we want to talk to you about. I-70 Speedway on Friday and Saturday. Later on this week in Missouri for the Race Redeem Foundation event. It'll pay $26,000 to win on Saturday night. And then it's the big one, Eagle Nationals for the Midweek Money Series, $50,000 to win at Eagle Raceway on June 11th. Then we take a big break, 15 days off before we come back to a Midweek Money Series race at the Lake Ozark Speedway in Missouri, and then head down the road to the Diamond Classic, the Diamond Dirt Tracks, Lucas Oil Speedway on June 28th and 29th. The Dean Niddle Memorial is about 2 weeks after that at Portsmouth Raceway Park in Ohio. Then 4 days off before we go back into Ohio, Eldora Speedway for the Double Down Duels and the Joker's Jackpot. And then one of my favorite racetracks, the Lernerville Speedway for the Don Martin Memorial Silver Cup. Always love getting over there to Lernerville Speedway. They have a fantastic racetrack over there and some big events and a lot of history around that facility as well. So excited to get there to that Lernerville racetrack. But man, if you are looking for any tickets to these upcoming races, well, we've got that for you right here. You can get your tickets right now by scanning that QR code on your screen if you're watching at home on Flow. If you're in the grandstands, you go on highlimitracing.com and go to tickets, and you can get yourself some tickets to those events coming up here very, very soon. So a lot of good stuff to look forward to with Kubota High Limit Racing. It has been, I mean, every race I feel like has just been crazy all year long, especially these last like 4 or 5. They've been really, really good. I mean, Kyle Larson kind of snuck up the show a little bit at Lawrenceburg, but the race for second was really good. And the Port Royal race, the Grandview race last 2 nights ago at Butler, absolutely fantastic stuff. Also wanted to mention this. I know a lot of people like to pay attention to our high roller playlists that we play throughout the night with Kubota High Limit Racing. We've only got a couple of drivers left that we have not done yet, and tonight it is Corey Day's turn for his high roller playlist. If you're watching home on Flow, scan that QR code. You can go take a look at some of the songs that are on Corey's playlist. And while I'm on that subject, I've had a lot of people asking, well, hey, how's that going to work? If they sent you a bunch of songs, why don't you only play 6 or 7? Well, each driver will get 2 nights to be the DJ of the night, and so we will start going back through the drivers at the second half of the season here. So Corey Day tonight. We know Kyle Larson will do his at Eagle next Tuesday, and then Tony and I will do our own playlist. Tony, I think you're gonna do Friday at I-70, and then I will be doing Saturday at I-70. So that'll be fun as well.
Yeah, I know. I think you've been planning a lot of Mariah Carey on yours, right, Chase?
Mariah Carey, who else? A lot of Billie Eilish on there as well, and Miranda Lambert, all the good stuff.
Yeah, Billie Eilish. I do always catch you bumping that in the rental car as we travel around the country. So I'm looking forward to. I think the playlist has been such a cool addition this season with High Limit Racing, and man, it's just been a fun way to learn about the personalities. And you or someone joked about it earlier this season. A great way to learn about someone is take a road trip, and one of the big things you do during a road trip is listen to music, right? And this season's been a lot of road trips already, and the playlists for the drivers have been really fun. I do encourage people to scan that QR code that they just had up on the screen on FloRacing and go look at all of the drivers' music. Chase talked about only being able to play a few songs each night, but go look at that playlist on Spotify. That's been really fun, Chase. I'm excited for us to get to do it next weekend, and yeah, that's just been a great part of what's been a really fun year already with High Limit, I think.
Certainly been a great addition to the broadcast as well. Seen a lot of positivity around that. Another thing I wanted to mention here, as we are still waiting for the rain to stop falling from the sky. If you're not familiar, the Kubota High Limit Racing has a Cometic Gasket Crew Chief of the Month award. It goes to the crew chief whose driver earns the most championship points within any given month. So we only have one race so far in the month of June. It happened 2 nights ago at the Butler Motor Speedway. James McFadden got the win, and his crew chief Brent Ventura currently leads the way in the Cometic Gasket Crew Chief of the Month award, which is $500 at the end of every month to that crew chief. So something else to kind of keep an eye on throughout the year with Kubota High Limit Racing. Now, some other things to keep an eye on are some of the upcoming races on FloRacing. If you like more than sprint cars, well, we have got it for you. We've got the pavement, we've got the big block modifieds, we've got the midgets, we've got the non-wing sprint cars as well. Here's some of the upcoming events right now on your screen. USAC Midget Week, unfortunately, they got rained out tonight, which we are trying to avoid. But tomorrow they go to Lawrenceburg, then Lincoln Park, Bloomington, Tri-State Speedway, and Kokomo. Castrol FloRacing Night in America for the late models at Eldora on June 5th. And then following that is one of the biggest races of the year for the late models, the Dirt Late Model Dream at Eldora as well. And then USAC Sprint Cars, those guys, I feel like they never have a day off. They go to Eastern Storm, Grandview, Bridgeport, Big Diamond, William Williams Grove, Port Royal, and the Action Track with the non-wing 410 sprint cars, as well as the champ cars of the Silver Crown Series as well. So a lot of great racing coming up on FloRacing. Make sure to get your subscription if you do not have one quite yet, for those folks sitting here in the grandstands tonight at Davenport Speedway. So let's go to another break, and hopefully at the end of that break, the rain has stopped.